Hello everyone, today we will be solving a Mensa Norway online test together, and I saw that these videos are quite popular and that you like the fact that I'm intellectually gifted, you know what I mean. Today we will have a look on some examples, and before we start with these examples I would like to give you some background information and also tips on how to solve this test and get a high IQ, whatever it means. So you have a limited time for that whole test. It's about 25 minutes and there is about, I think, 30 questions. So, you know, it's a numbers game. Each of these puzzles is for 1 point. So that means that if you get stuck on one of these puzzles and don't finish other ones, which you would be able to do that, then you have less points. The hard and easy examples are kind of mixed together. So what I would advise you is to count down how much time you have per puzzle, and also count down what score you will get with how much puzzles. You can do the math, it's pretty easy. So at the beginning of the test, go one by one, and if you get stuck, just note it down, next question, and return to it later on. You will probably train before because you are watching this video, so also kind of practice with that time limit for each question. And once you are at the end, and if you have some time left, then you will back to these questions which you couldn't answer. Now, the second tip is that don't rush at the beginning. I remember this from my test day. Everyone was just like rushing at the beginning, and then at the middle of the test everyone got stuck on something and there was pretty much quiet. I would advise you to really train your focus so you are able to focus these like 25 minutes or something like that, and go one by one. It's it's a numbers game, it's a test, and test needs to have a strategy. So don't go there without any strategy, just like go there focused, one by one, slowly, take your time, and this way you will probably end up with the biggest score. Also, try to practice these tests on like a printed version, let's say. Let's just like print it out, because it's different when you have to kind of like switch sheets, which you would do on a real testing day, than if you are clicking it online. So yeah, and also practice makes perfect. That's why you are watching this video. I think that if you try it a couple of times, practice your focus, stuff like that, you will be more successful. So let's dive into the examples. Alright, so I selected 15 exercises because there is definitely more exercises in Mensa Norway test, and you have 25 minutes for that. We will be doing 15, so let's dive right into it. And we are starting with exercise 13. It doesn't matter actually like the order of them, because they should be pretty much similar. Some of them are harder and some of them are easier, but they are kind of mixed together, so you never know what you get. And in this sort of pattern, we have to look at two things. First is that we have some sort of shapes, and there are always same shapes on there are always same three shapes, so we know that this definitely would be circle, and that means that our options are A, D and C. And this line is actually not rotating, but in this case this line is there is always one line of a kind, and we have this diagonal line, we have it here, then we have this line, and then we have a horizontal line, and basically we are missing a horizontal line with circle here. That means that we are probably going with option A. Okay, next stuff. So this is probably the same principle as last time, and we have three types of shapes. So here we are actually missing a triangle, so it would be B, E or F. And we are missing color, and in here we are actually missing a solid black color in this row, which means we are going with option B. Basically this is like a recognition of two different patterns which are kind of correlating together. Let's go into the next one. This one is actually tricky. Basically, I will try to explain it in the most human way I can. But basically we have two triangles of this color, and they are sort of like, and this triangle goes like this, and if this triangle goes like this, then these triangles goes the other way around. So in our case, we know that it's going to be this-sided, which means it can be either D or B, and we know that we are missing a second triangle with a black part, so it would be probably D or B. And then as we can see, each of them, they are like inverse, and since we have this one in the middle, same to the D, then we are probably going with B, which would kind of correlate with our other patterns. Exercise 11. So this is actually not about patterns. This is about extrusion, and extrusion is a normal mathematical function. So we would take what's in column B and then see what's in column in the middle, and then basically remove that part what it's in the first column. So here we have a dot, and now we see that there is a dot with a circle around it, and so we are getting option A. It's extrusion, and extrusion is quite common. I think you will get at least three exercises or three puzzles with this sort of thing in Mensa test, so be prepared about it. Not all of the people know about this, but if you work with graphical software, then you know about this. So just like practice these, this is what it is. And then this one is actually quite simple. It's about rotation. So as you can see, this first is actually rotating clockwise. So or sorry, it's rotating the other way around. No, I'm stupid. It's actually hard to think about stuff and shoot a video. So it's rotating this way, and this one is actually rotating this way, and ours is actually rotating also this way. So we know we will be facing up, and now so we are either B or D or C, and we know that this part is actually up. So when we switch it like this, it would be actually on the left side, so that's D. Always try to break these into steps. It's very important to focus on one thing at a time. So you are not like thinking about whole picture, but just like have a look on what are the first pattern, second pattern, separate them. That's the best thing you can do, and that's also thing in this exercise. As you can see, this black dot is not moving, so we know right from the start that our black dot will be here down in this corner, which sort of eliminate quite a lot of options. And we know that this square is actually rotating, which is a secondary pattern. Rotation is also quite common here in these Mensa tests. So the square would be actually going clockwise, which means we are getting a dot here and square here. That's option D. All right, exercise 8. Oh, I actually was thinking about this one. This one is so, they are trying to catch you, but we are smart, so we don't want to be catched. Basically, the first column is nonsense. The right solution is that you actually horizontally flip the second column, which means we are getting option C. Now let me chart here how you flip things if you can't do it in your mind and you don't have an ability to think about it. In this one it would be easy, but sometimes you can get a harder one. So they would be probably using some sort of grid. So if you sort of chart that grid, and let's see, we will chart two grids actually, two same grids, and first it's, let's say, colored like this, and you have to flip it. The central ones would be the same, and then you just go 1, 2, 3, because it's like three pointed grid and you just flip it. You probably can do it in your head, but you know, when it's like a harder shape, then it's harder to imagine. And this flipping is also quite common. Yeah, I call this example traveling cubes / adding one more cube into the row, if it makes sense. So right from the start, we know that these cubes are rotating. As you can see, they are kind of like traveling. They are like this old snake game. And also we are adding one more to the cube. And it's a sequence actually. So as you can see, as this exercise progresses, the sequence is getting larger and larger. So right from the start, we know that there would be five squares in there, and we also know that actually 3 of them will be on this like bottom part. And we also know that it's not separating anywhere, so the only option is E. And I've saw this sort of example in other tests. It looks slightly different, but it's a pattern of traveling around. Now we have a pattern of adding one more, and as you can see over here, squares are only added in this bottom row, which is kind of cool. So we will add one more here, and we will get option E. It's quite straightforward. Nothing major. So you know, it's also like a sequence. I'm not sure if we will get a sequence in this Mensa test, and this is the first and most easier one. The square is just like moving, so in its row. So we are getting option A. You probably can see that it's going that way. And another one. This is something we had at the beginning of this video, so you can probably tell right from the beginning what it is. And it's 2 patterns which are repetitive. So we know that there will be a square, so we go, you know, one of these. And we also know that there are like these small shapes in the middle, and we are basically missing this small sort of rectangle-ish thing. I'm not sure how you are called in English, but that would be the right answer for this one. And I guess the same goes in exercise 3. So as you can see, here are only triangles, and one of them is also without anything, so that's option F. That's the same pattern. This one you will definitely get it. It's again that sequence steps sort of thing. So we know that this goes basically down, or you know, it goes down all the time. It goes like here, it goes like this way, but here it goes down. So we know that it will be F. And yeah, that's another one. I'm sorry, I have I have them in a better order, so I don't know when it will finish actually. These guys, they are doing again rotation, and then there is this arrow which should kind of like how to say it? It should be misleading you, but you know, you see that this arrow is on a back. There are only 2 options when the arrow is on a back of this line, and we know that it's going to be like this. And yeah, another one. Let's have a look. We know from the first glance that there would be three dots. So we are basically without these 2 options, and we know that it's rotating. It's again a rotation, quite common. So we know it will be facing up, which means it will be F. So you know, it's 1, 2, then it goes like again rotation, easy. And that's all. That's all of my 15 exercises. Wow, it's intense to annotate, think about it, and find solutions and film at the same time. I'm up for this challenge. If you like this video, you may also like my newsletter. It's called Friday Inspo, and I'm sharing their tips and tricks and also learning resources. Actually, it's mostly about self-learning. You know, I'm learning a lot of stuff every week, and I'm basically documenting my journey through this newsletter. And also, you know, it's like an accountability partner for me, because now I know that I have to publish what I was learning each week. Which is super exciting. And if you want to be a part of my community and you are also into like interesting stuff such as AR, VR, design technologies, psychology, all of like everything what's interesting basically, you can subscribe through my website, and the link will be down below in the description. Okay, so let me share with you a story about you know, how I got into IQ tests and stuff like that. So basically, my brother randomly went to Mensa IQ test and he scored 156, which means he is intellectually gifted. And I was like, you know, I will beat you because siblings rivalry. So I signed in as well. It was last summer, and I practiced a little bit. Just to kind of see what these tests are about, and I kind of like them because I generally like to solve puzzles like on Brilliant, or I like chess. Basically, I like different kinds of puzzles. So I did that. I scored 144, which means I'm also intellectually gifted. Now, does it have some real applications? I think that IQ tests helped me in my personal development because I was able to understand how my brain works. And brains of intellectually gifted people works a little bit differently than non-intellectually gifted people. Basically, this sort of brain, or let's say this type of brain, it's good on math operations, pattern recognition, and stuff like that. Basically, you know, let's imagine that as like a powerful processor. You know, it's not too superior because you still need to learn skills, you need to study and stuff like that, but you know, it has an advantage that you would be probably able to do like a beginner basic level of stuff easier because you would be able to recognize these patterns. Also, this type of brain is bad on other stuff, like I would say my emotional intelligence is like bad. And I really need to study how to kind of like interact with people, how to be nice to people and stuff like that. I'm actually reading books about it, I'm not kidding. And I think it's getting better as I'm getting older. And that's, you know, it kind of, when I find out that I'm actually intellectually gifted, I got like two main ideas. First, I don't have any excuses because I'm probably smart enough to learn any technical skills. It's just a matter of time and my dedication, so no excuses over there. And second is that I could now understood why I wasn't popular in school and stuff like that. Basically, kids hate kids which are different, and if you think differently, you behave differently, you talk about different things, and you are good at math, nobody likes you, right? So, so I think I could understand other people and my peers from school years better. Of course, now when we are all adults, it's different because professionality and stuff like that. So I don't have problems like I used to have, for example, in high school or elementary school. But I overall think that it's a great way how to kind of like, you know, self-discover and this sort of stuff. Also, it doesn't make you a better human, it just makes you a different human. High IQ doesn't mean you are superior and stuff like that. That's why I didn't join Mensa and any other high IQ associated, because it's just like closing people into bubbles is not great. Based on some random parameter like IQ, it's not great. I'm all about sharing knowledge, open knowledge, inclusion and stuff like that. That's important, but I mean natural inclusion, not like a heavy inclusion, if you know what I mean, because sometimes you just put there inclusive people, whatever. I won't. This is for another video. See you next Tuesday, guys. It was very nice to chat with you. Have a nice one. Bye.